Hi, my name is Bon, and that's my dad there. My dad will be teaching me quantum mechanics and quantum physics.
Okay. Okay. All right. You ready, Bon?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's start. Uh, the board is nice and clean. All right. So first, explain to me how well you understand frequency. What is a frequency?
A frequency is a hertz or so-called wavelength. You can use either one, and and basically 1 hertz equals 1 wavelength,
Okay.
and hertz or the wavelength are connected or equal to like a plasma, like a variety of them. Not only one, three, four, five, six, seven. Stuff like that.
Okay.
And the plasma has 3 types of matter:
Okay.
antimatter, dark matter, and real matter, or basically matter itself. And the wavelength or the hertz or stuff that goes like a little ziggy zaggy thing, like back and forth. Yeah, it depends if your frequency is going slow or fast on the plasma.
Good. That tells me you did your homework, you study a little bit, which is perfect. All right. So a frequency, right? Okay. Is that a frequency is the cycle per second of the oscillation of atomic structure of matter. Okay. What does that mean? Well, let's break it down, okay? Like you were saying, a frequency is measured in hertz, okay? So 1 hertz, okay? This is it right here. You see it? 1 hertz.
Yeah.
1 hertz is 1 wavelength. So this is 1 wavelength, okay? So from this point to this point, this is considered 1 wavelength, right?
Yeah.
And that's 1 hertz, okay? So the human body vibrate at about 3.5 to about 7 hertz, but the human body can vibrate up to 17 hertz, okay? So let's say you vibrate at 7 hertz. You're gonna have 7 of these. You're gonna have 7 of these. You see it? You're gonna have something like this. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if you vibrate at 7 hertz, that is the frequency range that you are vibrating at. Okay? When these all combine together, right, it creates what you call a plasma. This is a plasma. So within this plasma structure, or what they call atomic structure, or quantum structure, however you want to call it, is that you have matter, antimatter, and dark matter. Okay? So if you are vibrating at 7 hertz, let's say from here to here to here to here to here to here, this would be your vibration. You see it? From here to here?
Very fast.
Yes. That will be your vibration. And within that range of vibration, okay, that's all you can see within your reality. So for example, let's say here's a ruler, right? Here's 1 and here's 12 inch. And let's say, let's make it 0. Let's say this is a ruler and these are centimeters, for example. So let's say our experience here on planet Earth, we live in what they call a 3rd dimension or a 3rd density. Basically what a density is a frequency. It's a range of frequency. Where did I left off?
About the ruler density thing.
Okay, all right. So let me backtrack again. Be careful, man. Don't touch it. Just leave it alone. Okay. So let me rephrase that again. So let's say we have a ruler, right? It's 12 inches, and these are centimeters, right? Okay. to get to 12 inches. So human being, planet Earth, we live in what scientists call third dimension or third density. These are just human language for us to understand, okay? So, so what a third dimension is basically, it's a third density, or you want to call it a density. So a density is a frequency range. So let's say a human being can only vibrate from 0 to 3 centimeters, which is here to here. So from 0 to 3 centimeters, right? That is the range that we are living in this third dimension. That is the only frequency we can see. So if other entity, let's say they're in the fifth dimension, you know, from here. Let me take a different ruler, give me a different color. Let's say here, oh, this one sucks. Okay, here, can you see my writing?
Yeah.
Okay, let's say, you know, some entity that lives here in this density from the fifth density. That means they have a range from 0 to 5. They can see within that density. But since we human beings are only within third density, we can only see this range. So this doesn't exist in our world, right? And it all related back to how frequency and vibration work. Remember what I said, that if human vibrate at 7 hertz, right? Then you have 7 hertz or frequency range, and that combined together, it creates plasma. And within that plasma, you have matter, antimatter, dark matter. And within this atomic structure, it creates what they call a gravitational and electromagnetic pull. And that vibrate at a very fast rate. So if you can only vibrate at 7 hertz, this is the range that you're gonna be in. That is it, okay? So, 1 hertz is 1 times 10 to the 9th power. They measure that in nanometers. You see it? You see it? 1 times 10 to the 9th power in nanometer. What that means is that it vibrates at 1 billion per second. So again, a frequency is a measurement of cycle per second of the oscillation of the atomic structure of matter, which is what I'm showing you here.
What does the whole thing represent?
Exactly. So in that sense, going back to what I was saying here, if other entities or alien that lives in a different dimension, they can see us, but we can't see them because we don't have that frequency in our range to see it.
The vibration, basically.
Correct. That is correct. That is correct. All right. Now, what else we need to talk about? So you understand that, right? Okay. And as these continue to vibrate, you know, let's say they continue to vibrate, and then these die out, it make a carbon copy of itself. It make a copy of itself. It make a copy of itself. And this is how the whole universe is created. So the board that is right now, that is solid, which I can't put my hand through, because this is collapsed matter. If I have the kit or the technology, you know, and I can vibrate at the same frequency as this, I can put my hand right through it. And I can walk through this wall, right? Which most people think this is magic, but it's not. It's just science. But since I don't have the kit or the technology, you know, I can't put my hand through it. I can't walk through it. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the whole universe is nothing but a plasma, meaning it's not solid. I mean, yeah, it's not correct. That's what it means. Nothing is solid, right? So if they take how do I put it? If they take the optical illusion away from the humankind, we would be very scared to go up an elevator because everything is atoms and protons and neutrons and electrons, right? It's all particle. And basically what that means is the smaller it gets, the more weirded it goes. So what I'm trying to say there is that we are living in what they call a fractal holographic matrix. It's like that movie Matrix, you know, that sci-fi movie, similar to that, you know? Okay, so got any questions before I erase this?
I didn't understand the 12 cm stuff, that thing. I didn't understand that as much.
What 12 cm? What are you talking about?
That ruler thing, you see?
Oh, the ruler. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Let me rephrase that for you again, so you can understand it. All right. So let's start again. Okay. So what I was showing you was an example how vibration and frequency work. So let's start again. So let's say this is a ruler. Ruler has 12 inches, right? From 0 to 12, right? So in a ruler, you have a bunch of centimeters, right?
Yeah.
You know, just, you know, all these centimeters. So what I'm saying is if we human beings live in what you call a third density, which you can only vibrate from 0 to 3 centimeters, that is the range that you can only see within that range. You cannot see outside of that range because you don't have the frequency. You understand? I'm just giving you as an example that if we live in the third dimension, right? And third dimension, I'm just giving an example, you know, from as a ruler from 0 to 3, right? From 0 to 3 centimeters. That means from 0 to 3 centimeters, that is the only range you can see. That means all human beings can only see within that range. They can't see anything above that because you don't have the frequency. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say, an alien who lives in the 5th dimension, you know, which is here. Okay. So an alien who lives in the 5th dimension, you know, that means he has 5 centimeters, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So from 5 to 0, meaning he can see into the 3rd dimension, 4th dimension, 2 dimension, 1 dimension. We can only see within our range because we don't have 4 or 5. We don't have that frequency range. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. So now moving forward. Moving forward. This is going to get really weird, but I don't want to take it too deep. Little by little. But I want you to understand. Let's say an alien who lives on the 5th dimension. Okay? He's way up here. Okay. And this is Earth, right? As an example. And this is a buffer zone, basically. This is what they call 4th dimension. 4th dimension is between physical and the etheric plane. You know, the spiritual world. It's called what they call buffer zone. But let's say we are here on 3rd dimension. So, an alien that lives in the 5th dimension, they can see us. So, let's say this is a house. Let me draw a house, a basic house. So let's say this is a bathroom. Let's say this is a living room. Let's say this is the door, a front door. Can you see what I'm drawing?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say Bond Jr. This is Bond Jr. Right? Jr. So Bond Jr. get home from school. Bond Jr. walk in through the front door. Right? He opened the door. Right? Okay. He go through the hallway and then he comes into the living rooms, right? He grab his soda, drinks, whatever. Then he say, oh, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, wash my hand, right? Within this timeline, right, the fifth dimension alien can see you, can see your future, past, and present all at once. You understand?
Yeah.
They can see you all at once because time doesn't exist in the fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, all the way up to whatever dimension there is. Because time doesn't exist. Time only exists here on planet Earth. It's a linear timeline, which is a progression. And that's why we look at ourselves as we get old and we die. But in reality, you are an energy source, okay? You just have an earthly experience. That's basically it. You're here for an experience. So in a sense, I don't want to get into spiritual and confuse you, but I just want you to understand that on the fifth dimension, they can see present, futures, and past. So Bond come in through the door, he goes into the kitchen, get his drink, he go wash his hand. They can see you all at the same time because time does not exist in their timeline. You follow what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Time only exists on planet Earth because we live in what they call a linear timeline. It's a progression from A to Z. Okay? Mm. All right. Any questions?
No.
Okay.
I just know. I understand your point. You're basically saying that the aliens, like from the fifth dimension, can see what you're basically doing as time doesn't exist in their time. Mm-hmm. Well, in their perspective of the world. Mm-hmm. And the reason why time exists in here because we're in like a linear timeline or something like that.
Correct.
A to Z, stuff like that.
Correct. All right. So let me erase this, and we'll cover one more topic. I don't want to overload your brain with too much information, but this is good. So let me clean this up, and we'll cover another topic, which is really good. All right, let me clean this up. And this is how do I explain it? You know, these esoteric knowledge, it's hidden from the world. Not many people know this stuff unless you spend the time to research and study and read a lot, you know, and so on, you know. Mm-hmm. So we human being has a lot of potential, a lot of power, but we just don't know how to use those power. Okay. The human body. Okay. The human body is made up of 6 elements. Okay? I'm going to tell you what they are. 1 is hydrogen. 2 is oxygen. 3 is carbon. 4 is nitrogen. 5 is phosphorus. 6 is calcium. This is what the human body is made of. Hydrogen, oxygen, carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, and calcium. That's what make up 99.9999% of your body. Mm-hmm. These are elements, Bond. These are molecules. When these molecules combine together, it creates the atoms in your body, which is your DNA. You understand? Mm-hmm. Which make up who you are. So in reality, you are nothing but an energy source. You got it? Mm-hmm. So, in that sense, here's another cool thing. The human body produces 0.07 of electricity. So the human body produces about 0.05, between 0.7 of electricity, based on mainstream science. As a kid like you have about 19 trillion cells. For an average adult, it's depend on how big you are, how tall you are, how much you weigh, blah, blah, blah. That could range between 37.5 to 50 trillion cells. So Papa, your dad, maybe has about 37 or 40 trillion cell or 50 trillion cell, depending on how big you are and things like that. But a kid has about 19 trillion cell. So mathematically, if you take 37.5 trillion, times 0.07 hertz or electricity, right? You produce about 2.63 trillion volt. So you see how powerful you are as a human being? So a lightning bolt that strike a tree and split it in half is only 1 billion volt. So if you're producing 2.63 trillion volt, you see how powerful you are? So when you look at yourself and say, well, what little me, what can I do? You can do a lot, Bond. You are a powerful divine creature. Okay? You are an eternal being. You understand? When you start to manifest how powerful you are, how important you are, right? Things will come a little bit easier to understand. You understand what I'm saying? So, to vibrate at a higher frequency, right? Any question before I erase this?
I just want to know about the elements there.
Okay. So these 6 elements is very important. The human body is made up of these 6 elements, or molecules. When these all combine together, it creates your DNA, which is the atoms in your body. Okay? And these are different components. All right? So you can look it up what hydrogen is, or oxygen is, or carbon is, or nitrogen is. Okay? There's a lot of information on Google, like the periodic table. It tells you exactly what it means. Okay? But these components is what make up the human body. So when you realize that 6 elements make up your body, then you understand that I am not solid. So the avatar body that I have is just an avatar body. Your soul lives forever. You know what I mean? It's just an energy source. So when you die, and they burn you, or, all that energy source turn into carbon. And this goes back to the source where you come from. What I was trying to explain to you is that I'm mixing science and spirituality together in a sense. But I don't want to confuse you too much. What I'm trying to say is that you are a divine being. You are an eternal being. You don't die. Your avatar body dies. Your soul doesn't die. It goes back to the source where it comes from. Because these are the elements that makes up your body. You understand? All right. Okay, I'm going to clean this up now. And this will be the last one. I don't want to overload you too much. All right. In order for you to vibrate at a higher frequency, because that's where you want to be, you don't want to vibrate at a low frequency, okay? Again, dimension and all these other stuff is just scientific, mainstream scientists, put in the words so that us human beings can understand. But in reality, there's only one potential curve of frequency from very low to very high. In a sense, it's like that. That's all it is. It's just very low frequency to very high frequency. It's just one potential curve. But, mainstream science, they come up with all these cool names for us human beings to understand. Okay. So, the way frequency work and manifestation and all these other stuff is, I'm going to try to summarize this for you. Okay? Is that for you to vibrate at a higher frequency, is there's three components. There's three components that you must have. One, you have to have love, compassion, empathy, all that stuff. You have to have love, compassion, empathy for others.
This is basically how to vibrate higher?
Yes. Two, you don't judge. Do not judge. Do not judge people. Okay? Do not judge people. And third, as you go through your life progression, what have you learned? Those three are so important. For example, when you give off love, compassion, empathy for other, you resonate nothing but a high energy source. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And when you don't judge people, meaning, oh man, that guy's stupid. Oh, I'm smarter than him. He's a dumbass. Blah blah blah. You don't judge anybody. And then as you go through your life, let's say you were born, now you're almost 12, right? You're 11 and a half. So from 0 to 11.5, which is where you're at right now, what have you learned? Well, I've learned that I'm a kind person, I'm a nice boy, blah, blah, blah. That is all part of vibrating at a higher frequency. As you become adult, you resonate higher and higher and higher and higher. And when you resonate higher and higher, you're going to match these higher frequency. Because everything exists out there in the universe. You match that frequency. You understand?
Yeah.
So when you match that frequency, you're going to get that download of information, of creativity, of whatever it is you want to do with your life, or whatever it is you want to achieve. So that is very important, Vaughn. You need to keep that in mind, that do not judge people, give love, compassion, empathy to other, and constantly evaluate yourself. What have you learned? If you look at other people, and let's say they were born, from 1971, like your dad. Now it's 2024, right? And I'm 52 years old. I'm just giving you an example, okay? Mm-hmm. So your dad was born 1971. Now it's 2024. Your dad is 52 years old, half a century, right? Older than some dirt, right? Mm-hmm. If I look at my life and I say, well, I'm 52 years old and I'm a dumbass, I've learned nothing. I still drink, I still smoke, I still gamble, I'm an alcoholic or whatever, blah, blah, blah. That basically put you in that state of low vibration until the day you die, because you have learned nothing. You can't vibrate unless you learn something. You understand? Mm-hmm. These three has to come hand in hand with each other. And then, of course, it helps you out if you have love, compassion, and empathy. You see a homeless guy, you buy him lunch, dinner, give him some money. You have that love, and you're not judging him for whatever problem he's going through in his life, you know, whether he's a drug addict or whatever. You just don't judge, you know. And then it comes down to the last one where, what have you learned? Well, if for 52 years of my life I've learned nothing, then I can never vibrate at a higher frequency. You understand? So as you go through your life progression, you have to keep those three in mind. Every day you're learning something new, right? Mm-hmm. When you learn something new, you appreciate that. And that helps you vibrate at a higher frequency. Okay? Mm-hmm. All right. I think it's good enough for today. Have any questions?
No.
All right.